Okay. Anyhow, as I was saying, just dropped off the cupcake and juice for her. Heading back now. You know, I took a muscle. You see, whenever I go to the grocery store, I always take a muscle relaxer. Because like I said, I know what it is that they're up to, and sometimes they can influence my mind to not get a shopping cart, push cart, but actually take the basket, and then I'm walking around, and my back is hurting. So this is why I always take a muscle relaxer. Because again, this is how when I talk about how they can manipulate you now, because even though they cannot manipulate me or they are using Hispanic chicks too today, right? They cannot manipulate me like they were manipulating me before, right? And so you see her, the palm fixation drill, as you put her phone in her back pocket. And like nobody puts their phone in the back pocket with their palm facing backwards, okay? Okay? Come on now, let's talk about human behavior, right? And you see these odd types of behavior, particularly as a TI that's taking place in front of you, you know what it is. So anyway, as I was saying, so I take a muscle relaxer because they will wait till certain moments to manipulate you, and you won't be aware of it, right? This is why it's important that we get enough sleep, right? But because of being hit with directed energy weapons, particularly silent sound, microwave radio frequency, one of the negative effects of that is that you suffer from insomnia, right? So when you don't get enough sleep, okay, we know what it does to the mind. We know that if you don't sleep for 2 days, your mind starts to break down, right? Not just psychologically, but physically. We know if you don't sleep for 72 hours, 3 days, you start to experience psychological psychosis, right? This is why sleep deprivation, that's why they use sleep deprivation in torture, right? Because, and again, this is why torture is not really valid or so-called valuable in most instances in which they try to, when they torture somebody to get whatever information out of them. A lot of the time, most of the information is unreliable because people will say whatever to stop their torturer from continuing to torture them, right? This is why, again, information obtained from torture is not credible for the most part. That doesn't mean it's not that certain information can be true, right? So what it says is that any information obtained under torture, you're going to have to do some serious vetting of that information. And you see, and they know this. This is why there's a law against torture. Okay? Because most of the information they get from the people who they torture is no good. And they know this. So don't think what they do to us as TIs is try to extract information. No, it is try to keep us silent. It is to do the opposite, right? It is to prevent us from exposing the crimes that they've committed, right? Which is, again, illegal microchipping, illegal drugging, right? Covert manipulation, covert psychological manipulation, right? And to prevent, you go into the website psychologicalharassment.com. They'll tell you, they'll talk about it, right? This is why these websites are so valuable, and this is why what I do is so valuable, just to let TIs know exactly what's going on, and to speak up if you can. If you're too afraid, like I said, that's why we have TIs like myself and others who are going to speak up for you, right? Like I said, the name labeling don't really matter to me. I don't care about that. See, people can run around, acting as if they don't know what they're doing, but they most certainly do. They most certainly do, right? And you look at, again, just you have case examples. Nazi Germany, right? Again, let's bring it further up. In the 70s and 80s, right? East German, the Stasis, all right? And people in which family members were engaged in all sort of psychological and particularly gaslighting victims of the Stasi program. Okay? A lot of them were deceived and misled. So history has shown us how people, right, how governments can condition people. You look at the Stasis, look at the Nazis, you look at what is called the deception of self. Go and read Kryback and forgot the other person's name, but they wrote an article on this called The Deception of Self, and how you can radicalize whole population to engage in detrimental behavior against an individual, right? And because they're being, look, red again coming across the street. See the white girl? She gonna play with her. She touches her hair. Guy comes out of there, out of the building, wearing a red sweater. Right? So, you know, and how they do this. And on top of that, particularly in America, where white people, you know, victimize black people on a daily basis. Okay? They victimize us on a daily basis. And if you're black and you're a TI, you know, if you're a man or woman, they will send white men and white women to manipulate your significant other, your husband or your wife. Particularly if you know, if you're a man and woman, because black women are easily swayed and easily manipulated by their white counterparts, white women, right? They will trust everything a white woman say. And white women have lied to black women about what they should tolerate in relationship when they tolerate much worse in their relationship with white men. See, this is how they pull them into that. You know, I keep saying, the white man biggest and greatest ally is his woman. And that's fine. But in the black community, the black man's biggest ally is not the black woman. Is each other. We have to be each other's ally. Because we see how our women are being conditioned, and they don't want to hear anything from us. They don't want to hear the truth at all. Okay? So with that being said, I'll talk to you guys in the next video.